at First Sight, episode 11. This is season 16. And this is for the after party, y'all. This is for the after. So on the after party, there was Eris, there was Shaq, and then there was the other guy who comes on there periodically named Justin. I think he has a podcast. Is his name Justin Day? I don't remember what his name is, but it's Justin. And so it was Eris and it was Shaq were the two cast members that were on the show. And so they opened up right away, started talking about the scene where Kirsten's over there talking about she needs him to hug her and kiss on her and love on her. And he ain't doing his job in that area. And when he comes home, he needs to run over to the couch and give her a hug and a kiss and embrace her. Be sure to watch my video on them because I go in on Kirsten this week. But I guess I've been doing all the weeks. But they talked about that, but Shaq is just saying, I'm just so confused. I'm so confused. And the reason why you confused is because she really not trying to solve no problems. She's just trying to blame. I done started a new club out here. It's called the Kings and Queens of the Flip. And Eris is the founder and Kirsten is the CEO. And the other cast members, Gina and Nicole, are members, charter members of the organization. But Shaq says he don't know what to do. He does not know what to do. He makes a move. She tells him to back up. And the reason why he's confused is because Kirsten tells two different stories. When she's with her friends, she tells the story that the reason why there's no intimacy is because of Shaq. But then when she's with Shaq and Shaq wants to make a move or do something, she tells him, no, you can't make a move and come closer because there's something else you need to do first. So she keeps you moving around. She keeps you moving around so you never really figure out what the real solution is. And she gets to sit back and watch you run around and chase your tail. And she never has to do anything because you're too busy trying to figure out what the problem is. She is the queen of the flip and the queen of confusion. Keisha's over here asking, well, do you know about any of these feelings that Kirsten has? And he says, no, not really, because she don't talk. She doesn't talk. She doesn't open her mouth. And then when he says, well, what do you mean? You guys don't have any conversations? He goes, well, the conversation starts like this. She says, let's have a conversation. We say, let's have a conversation. But then what the conversation turns into is her just asking me a bunch of questions. That's her style of communication. Her style of communication is asking questions, not her answering them. And so what Kirsten does is, because Kirsten's a scared little girl on the inside, Kirsten wants to ask 50 billion questions, and the way that she feels comfortable is going to be for you to answer 50 billion questions, but you don't get to ask any. That's the key. She can ask all the questions. She wants you to be available. She wants quality time. She wants you to be around. She wants you to hold her. She wants you to, say sweet things to her. She wants you to chase her. She wants to talk to you, but she wants you to do all the talking. She wants to do all the listening, because what she's saying is the more that I listen to you, then eventually I'll say something. But when does that eventually happen? According to her, is when she wants it to happen. But you got to keep on talking. And I'm like, that ain't communication. That's one-way conversation. Kirsten thinks that's communication. That's not communication, because all she's doing is listening and she's not doing any talking. Most people, the problem is all they do is talk and they don't listen. Kirsten got the other problem. She don't want to talk about nothing deep, nothing on the inside. She's so scared. I'm telling you, between her and Eris, they may need to get a psychotherapist, a 2-for-1. A 2-for-1. Are there any deals going on? A buy one session, get one free, a 50% off the second session. They need to go ahead and sign up for that, because they both need some real help, more than any wife or husband can do for them. Shaq says he be trying to test the boundary. He said he has tried to test the boundaries and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work at all because she's really slow. And even Eris said, yeah, it's so weird to watch. Even Eris said it. He said, because what Kirsten does is when Kirsten was talking to Jasmine, she tells Jasmine that all Shaq needs to do is light a candle and turn on some R&B music. So even Eris says he's confused by Kirsten because she says one thing and does another. I know all of you out here think that Kirsten is acting. She's not acting. She's not that good of an actress. She don't even know how to think real deeply. She doesn't even know how could she remember all these lines for 8 weeks? People think that Kirsten is acting. She's not acting. Kirsten really is a fun girl She does like to have fun. She does like to laugh and have a good time, but with women. She has a completely different persona with men. Okay? Her constipation with her emotion is coming from with men. It's not with women. Okay? She's outgoing with women, but it's an intimate relationship, sharing those deep sides of her. That's where she has the problem. She doesn't want to talk about those things. Any other conversation, she's more than willing to talk about it. But when it comes to her deep emotions, she don't want to have nothing to do with that. Just like Aries. Aries can talk. He has a lot of conversation. But when it comes to talking about his emotions, his default thing is to talk about sex. He doesn't want to talk about emotions. So then he starts talking about indiscriminate, non-emotional sex. That's what he diverts to when he doesn't want to talk about a real emotional stuff. And Kirsten, when she doesn't want to talk about her emotions, we know what she does. She blames you and starts telling you what you need to do. They're the king and the queen of the flip. The king and the queen of the flip. Even Justin on here, the guest, he was saying Kirsten has a whole lot of high standards, but with zero flexibility. Exactly. And that's how you stay in a position where you don't have to do nothing. You have high standards for the person you're dealing with to tell them what they need to do, but then you have no flexibility in those standards. So then what happens is they never really can hit the mark, because guess what? Nobody can ever reach those standards. No one can ever be that. So that's what you do when you want to keep people away. High standards, zero flexibility. You either get it 100% right or you fail. It's like you taking a test and the test is pass or fail. There's no partial credit. There's no B, A minus, B, C, D. No, it's either you get all the questions right or you fail. That's how Kirsten grades. It's a pass or fail. You either get 100% or you fail. High standards, zero flexibility. But Shaq said he is tired. But the one thing Shaq did admit in this after party that now what's going on is a war of the egos. Because he was like, you know what, now she is starting to make some progress, but he's a little sour and bitter because he got an ego too. I told you these two had a lot in common. And one of the things they did have in common was Kirsten was used to men chasing her. So that's why she feels comfortable telling Shaq, oh, you need to keep chasing me. And Shaq was used to women chasing him. I'm telling you, Shaq is out here as a single black man, educated, making a good salary, a good looking, and he's used to women chasing him. And Kirsten was doing no chasing. So now that Kirsten is slowly coming around, it's slow as molasses. His ego is like, well, you know what? At first you didn't want me, and now you up all on me. And you think all of a sudden now I'm supposed to do what you say or when you want to say, how you want to say it. He's saying no. Now he's sitting over in his corner mad with his ego. And he admitted it. He said his ego talking now. He said his ego talking. And Keisha Knight Pulliam called it right. It's fear with Kirsten and his ego with Shaq now. I sure hope he can come off his ego tip, and I hope she can come off this fear tip, because I'm really still hopeful for these two, because I think they have enough good things in common that they could do well together. But he talks about this quality time, and he was saying, you know, quality time for him will be going out, having fun, and doing things. Remember when he said, are they going to be lit out here in these streets? Shaq want to dress up in a nice outfit with his bow tie, with his fancy suits. He want to go out. He said Kirsten want to sit at home on the couch and pepper him with 1,000 questions, but she don't want to answer no questions. Shaq, like, this ain't my idea of a good time. He says, I'm sitting in the office all day dealing with people or talking all day, and you want me to come home and sit on the couch? Let's go out. Let's have a drink. Let's do something. Let's have some fun. They both sorority, fraternity people. I'm sure they both like to go out and have some fun. And Kirsten want to sit on the couch and ask him a million questions, but then when he asks her a question, she don't want to answer no questions. Shaq is fit to be tied with this girl. Shaq is fit to be tied. Aries was over there talking about Kirsten needs to get her shit together. The founder and CEO of the king of the founder of the King and Queens of Flip is telling his CEO she need to get her shit together. Aries is like, you can't outdo me in the area of the flip. I'm the founder, Kirsten. You can't be better at it than me. You need to get your shit together. That was crazy. And then they switch over to Aries, and Aries with when his friend was talking about what you need to do to make the situation better. Because like I said, Aries don't like to be the one that has to do anything. And now Aries is talking about they need to go out and listen to live music, because that's something they both like. I thought the problem was a big booty and a smile, Aries. I thought it was because she don't look like Lauren London and Serena Williams. And let me tell you, Jasmine is pretty. Jasmine got a nice body. Y'all see her in that nice little body outfit she had on? Jasmine, she may be slim, real slim, but she got a booty on her. Jasmine has a booty on her, and Jasmine looks beautiful. A beauty queen with a booty. And here you got Eris over here trying to talk about she's not attractive. That is such BS. That is such BS. Like I told you, he is the king of the flip. Be sure to watch all my videos because I break this theory down on the kings and queens of the flip. But he is the founder of it. Robot Eris is the founder. He's over here trying to talk about Jasmine's look. Jasmine is really pretty. Sure, she got those little things going on with the bottom of her teeth, but she's going to get that fixed. I guarantee you, by the time we see where are they now or what are these other things after, Jasmine's teeth's going to be fixed. And Jasmine's going to be out here. She ain't going to need no Eris. She ain't going to need no Eris at all. But now we're talking about they need to go out and listen to some live music. So now it's not the big booty and the smile. Then he was like he needs a vibe. Then he needs her to wear something. And now all of a sudden we need to go out and listen to live music. He comes up with everything that Jasmine needs to do to get him feeling a certain kind of way when he don't come up with nothing he needs to do. I'm telling you, your answer is psychotherapy. Psychotherapy is the answer. Psychotherapy. That's what you need. Mental health care. Justin said he respected Eris for not having any sex with Jasmine. I don't call it respect. It's not called respect. He's still protecting himself. He's still protecting himself because what he knows is when he was having sex with women that he wasn't married to, there was no chance of any type of intimacy happening, either between the woman and him or him and the woman. So when he's decided not to have sex with Jasmine, he's not protecting Jasmine. He's protecting himself. He doesn't want to feel any of that. He always loves to flip stuff. Eris is always going to protect himself. He's not protecting Jasmine. He's protecting himself. He's the one that's afraid of intimacy, not Jasmine. He's afraid of it. He's protecting himself. He's not doing this so there's no respect I'm going to give him for that. I don't want Jasmine to have sex with him. Absolutely not. But I'm not going to give him any kudos for it because he's doing what he always does. He's protecting himself. And in this situation, by him protecting himself, it does protect Jasmine. I do believe that. But he's not doing it for Jasmine. He's doing it for himself. There's a difference. There's a difference when you do something with the sole intent to protect another person versus when you do something to protect yourself, but it also protects another person because it comes from two different places. Everything that Eris does comes from a selfish place. Even going to that rage room came from a selfish place. It didn't come from the place of helping Jasmine. Jasmine don't need to get no rage out by hitting stuff. That came from a place from him because he didn't want an intimate date. Eris didn't want an intimate date. He didn't want candles and champagne and a lot of stuff surrounding intimacy that might be romantic. He wanted a rage room. He wanted to be so far away from intimacy as possible. He wanted to be in a rage room. He didn't want to be in no intimate romantic room. He wanted to be in a rage room. He did that for himself. Like I said, anytime Eris gets uncomfortable talking about emotions, he goes right to a sex question, just like when he was having that discussion with everybody about at the dinner table. He started asking about is sex different between married and when you're whatever. Watch my video on Eris. I'm so sick of him. I'm so sick of him. And then you got Shaq over here mad at Kirsten because she aired their dirty laundry out in public, saying we got problems behind closed doors. And Shaq was like, we should be keeping our dirty laundry behind closed doors. Like I said, they both are into the appearance. I told you, both of them kind of got some superficial things to them. And what Shaq was mad at was, don't be telling people that in public, or we keep that behind closed doors. Well, it ain't gonna never come out, Shaq, because if she didn't say it in public, she definitely ain't gonna say it behind closed doors because she don't want to talk about it. Because like he said, what happens with the discussion afterwards? He said, well, when we leave the restaurant and we leave, we don't even talk about it. She acts like it never happened. When I try to bring it up, she said, oh, well, let's leave that alone. That's in the past. Because she doesn't want to have the discussion. She doesn't want to have any discussion about intimate emotions and feelings. She doesn't want to have it. Why would she want to bring it up? Like I said, the kings and queens of the flip, the kings and queens of avoiding emotional conversation, that's Eris and Kirsten. Both of them, king and queen of avoidance. Shaq tells us Nicole is over here inserting herself in people's marriages way too much. Not only was she asking all those questions at the dinner, he tells us that almost on a lot of bases, I don't know if it's every night, Nicole writes notes on pieces of paper, slips it under the door of Kirsten and Shaq's apartment door, telling them what they need to do in their marriage. Talking about, this is what you need to do to have more intimacy. Tell each other sweet nothings. Is Nicole the new expert? Is Nicole the new expert? I guess she said these experts are nowhere to be found. So since these experts are nowhere to be found, I'm going to step in and be the expert. Nicole says she is slipping the notes under the door, telling Shaq, make sure you kiss your wife before you go to bed. Make sure you do that. I sure hope she's giving Kirsten some advice, and I hope she's not believing all these stories Kirsten is talking about. I really do hope that. And then Justin was saying, well, you know what you ought to do with that? You ought to tell her, take that note that Nicole sent, go to your wife and say, hey, Nicole is telling us to do this little freaky thing. Maybe we should try it. Maybe we should do it. And Shaq said, I have done that. I have taken the note to her and said, hey, look at this crazy note that Nicole slipped under the door. And you know what Kirsten says? Kirsten said, Nicole, she's so crazy. She's so crazy. Nicole... Kirsten ain't doing that. Kirsten is not doing anything that's too intimate. We do see on these episodes coming that they're going to be tonguing it down. We're going to be tonguing it down. This week we saw a kiss on the cheek. And next week we see a little bit of a tongue action. I'm here for it. I really hope that Kirsten is ready to come out this little safe room she put up for herself, this fort that she's put around her, and she's ready to step out there and kiss a man within 30 days. 30 days. Because if not, she's going to be on that show, not Married at First Sight. She's going to be on that show, How to Lose a Man in 30 Days. Because if she keeps this up, not even giving a kiss, she's going to be on the show, How to Lose a Man in 30 Days. Kirsten going to need to write a whole book on how do you lose a man in 30 days. Because she's doing good at that. But Eric's like everybody else. They was happy to see Shaq stand up for himself a little bit more in this episode. They were happy to see him be a little bit stronger and stand up to Kirsten a little bit more and start pushing her. That's probably what's going to need to be happening. But I talk about them in my video. I do say there's some things that Shaq needs to do better. Watch my video on that. I'll go into that, or what some of the things I think he needs to do better in the relationship. But Justin, the guest, he did have some good advice at the end. He said, if you want to get different results, if you want to get something that you've never had, then you have to do something you never had. And what Kirsten is doing is she's trying to have something different, but she's still doing the same playbook she's always done. And she actually needs to do something different. But she's hanging in there. She is hanging in there. So that's what happened on the after party. Be sure to watch my other videos because I go in depth a lot more on some of the other couples. That's it. Talk to you later. Bye.